Doki Doki Literature Club contains disturbing themes and imagery and may not be suitable for you if you are affected by any of the following themes: depression, suicide, self-harm, or abuse. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's your Brennan? Do your best, Toad.
I just did! I'm not very good at it! Hello! Hi! I'm Toad! Sorry, Mario! But it's time for the episode! Spooky Couch Brotatoes!
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Please Do.
Please do.
I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her.
I'm only allowed to smile once a day.
Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light.
This looks like your handwriting.
The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
How come nobody snapped for my poems?
You didn't get close like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, next time I'll be like,
Okay, so
it's like,
listen! I want breakfast.
sorry, that was really loud.
I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I think I've literally said this.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read.
Excuse me.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I liked the poem. Because, you know, the thing that this was all about needs to be secondary.
The part that you bathed was great.
Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. Disturbingly so.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all. I probably wouldn't be able to sit through a longer poem.
I'm really glad you liked
I
it.
almost fell asleep. It was the perfect length.
I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you gonna ghost Yuri?
Dang it.
Which actually,
Yeah, say that to
I
yourself.
think Yuri in Japanese is ghost, but I think it's with two U's.
I don't know.
So I'm curious. I'm gonna look that up.
Yuri. How would you say that word?
I don't know.
We could just ask our Alexa. Alexa, what is ghost in what, Japanese?
Japanese.
Japanese. And eventually a disembodied voice will tell us.
Yeah.
Actually,
Search the internet.
the start isn't about a ghost at all.
The story.
Yep. The story,
Really?
really.
I must have totally missed the point. Can you tell I don't read much?
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all.
Ghost in Japanese is Yuri.
Excellent.
Thank you, Alexa.
My pleasure.
Someday. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost.
Perhaps. Do you not know, being the person
No, I
who
thought
wrote?
literally you were comparing it. I thought that said lingerie. I was
Me
like,
too. I was like,
we're getting in it here.
Lingerie in her last remaining place of comfort.
Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing really.
Just my masterpiece.
Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on those things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Probably not. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
1, 2, 3. So many options.
Nope, it was just Monica.
That's Monica.
Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, please put them in our suggestion box. I'm always never read it. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
I just like to shake it in here and go.
Well, so many suggestions.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up.
I have anxiety.
Much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
Not especially. I guess I have to.
Don't worry, yep. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know?
Do I?
Natsuki seemed okay.
It's that sort of barrier. Oh my gosh, my voices are like blending together.
Yep.
This is what happens when I have to dialogue with
woman.
myself.
Yeah.
It's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
I mean, the sick couples start to look like each other. We start to sound like each other.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's true.
I'll do the other one while you're doing it.
I hand Monica my poem.
Speak at the same time, so it's
Yeah.
like a
I like this one. Makes me think of something Sayori would like.
Is that so? It's not like she told me.
You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common.
Oh, well. We may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different.
Well, that may be the case. But maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Maybe a bit too much. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when I'm reading your poem.
You sure you're not reading into it too much?
I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of gentle feel to it. I can tell she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness and hunger. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too?
Yeah, that's totally unexpected.
Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything.
Was so good.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very
No
good.
one is, apparently.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good.
Well, it's because I have to sound confident.
It's my
Doesn't mean I always
programming
feel that way, you know.
as an NPC.
I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. Wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Okay then.
Well,
So, what do you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
That's okay.
That's why I asked you.
I knew you wouldn't criticize too hard. That's the kind of style that has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. An epiphany where a cat was being very noisy in my room. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany.
Yeah, something like that. kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper. Tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. What?
Done that with drawing. It's really annoying.
That's my advice for the day.
Get a beautiful sketch done, you're like, okay, time for some line work.
Well, shoot.
Thanks for listening.
Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess it's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's this language? It's not English.
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand, and we'll not do that next time.